Maloko 20 ronanai radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko ba edição lorong ohin filai ke samutu ko hau imini belon Moises da Silva lihusi frekuensia walusia ponto hitu MHz radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko bibang kamani kirane informasi baita pocera kata ba horas net down e Studiu radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko marca ona presença husi Encaregadu Embaixador Estados Unidos América hamutu ko nia adjunto e Studiu radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko. Atu explica baita hotu lihusi radio talk mak hanesan ida objetivo visita mai posto administrativo Maubisse. Além de nessa descrevemos relação entre Timor-Leste e EUA com a cooperação e desenvolvimento. Bem-vindo mais a Studiu Radio Comunidade Maubisse Moloko.
Welcome to Radio Maubisse.
Thank you. Hello, Maubisse. This is Mark Weinstock. I am the Chargé d'Affaires at the U.S. Embassy in Timor-Leste. And I tell you what, I am excited to be on this radio talk show and talk to all the community about some of the wonderful things that we're doing at the U.S. Embassy and to talk about our partnership.
Olá, how Radio Maubisse, how Mark Weinstock, how my Encaregadu negócio Estados Unidos América e Timor-Leste. How contente te tebes mai ne, horiculi tu konaba parceria entre Estados Unidos América e Timor-Leste, no cooperação no bekeita ia.
But also, I have my Deputy Chief of Mission here. Fausto, please say something.
Sure. My name is Fausto de Guzman. Hello, Maubisse and surrounding municipalities. I am very happy to be back in the Maubisse area and to share the time here with our Chargé d'Affaires, Mark Weinstock.
Hello, olá Maubisse, how junto chefe de missão Embaixador Estados Unidos da América, Fausto Guzman, vamos temos muito com marca presença a estação rádio comunidade Maubisse, o Mark Weinstock, encarregado de negócio Embaixador Americana, e nem o recolheu a boa tira comunidade Maubisse.
Ok, depois vim de rádio comunidade Maubisse Moloko e dentro aqui terá uma introdução para que tu irmã ita hakat queramba e pergunta ba.
Now we'll go to the next session with the questions.
Please, let's do this.
Ita toi Timor, Horbangira, ita foi uma visita Maubisse, visita mai oinsa. Ato agora ita sente Timor ne oinsa, ita gosta.
So when did you arrive in Timor-Leste? Is this your first visit to Maubisse? So what is your view, your impression about Maubisse? When you visit Maubisse or with your today's visit to Maubisse?
So I arrived to Timor-Leste on August 13th, so that makes it a little over 5 weeks here.
How toia Timor-Leste loron sanures tolo funa agosto, antau jane halo com que beldian katakau ne semana limon.
And I am actually coming from Hawaii, which is a small island in the United States.
How atualmente mais Hawaii, ilha que ia Estados Unidos América.
And so this is my first time to Maubisse, and one thing I can say, it is very similar to my home of Hawaii.
Ida dia makaunia tempo dahulu kliu iha Maubisse, no habel dia kata ka Maubisse ia similaridade tuang ho haunia rain Hawaii.
And so we have the same mountains. The same greenery. We're agriculture people. We're tourism people. And we have a lot in common.
Ita ia foho nebe hanesang, ita ni foho verde hanesang, mata hanesang, ita agricultor hanesang, nomos ita iamos a reputência hanesang turismo nia.
And so my first impression is, I feel like I'm at home.
A impressão madahulu kata kau senti kata kau ia runi hela ia hauni uma, ia hauni rain.
Pensai tanya hari kuna ba paisagem Maubisse compara clima Maubisse ho Italian razi.
So what is your view about the landscape of Maubisse in comparing to your hometown Hawaii?
I tell you what, one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Timor-Leste was because of the ocean.
How karate te botsika razão ida kata how kar mai Timor-Leste tamba de tasi no fura oceano.
The people of Hawaii are very passionate about the waters, very passionate about the environment. And that is something that I see here in Timor-Leste.
Ema povo ia Hawaii ia paixão ba tasi, ia paixão ba be, então ida tama ida nem makau karak mai Timor-Leste.
But it's not only the waters, it's also the land. And the land is very precious. That produces agriculture and foods and for the people.
Mai be la os tasi det, mai be raimos. Tama raima ka sai nesang utir mereka produz agricultura, produz saham, produz moro.
But the one difference is it's a little bit cold here.
Mai be diferença det makata. Ene maleri intuang.
So before I left Dili, they told me to grab some jackets and some sweaters. I was like, what? I don't have any.
Moro kau husikela dili serti tamau oh tinggi tebo tinggi usa jaket. Mai be hau dia at haula ihan, haula jaket ne.
Yeah, but this is the beautiful part of Timor-Leste, and I'm appreciative to be here and to meet with so many people.
Mai be ida nema parti fura kliu sa Timor-Leste. Tama nema hau reste tebes bel mai Timor-Leste.
Ok, dia, obrigado Barak. Ita hakat ba pergunta pa datolog niyan. Ita hatene kata que radio Maubisse hetan apoio equipamento husi USA. Barak mak atona. Plano rumah atau apoio dene atau bele funciona hodia?
So we are going to the third questions. As you know that community radio Maubisse in the past got the support from USAID. So as you also know that the majority of most of the equipment here is already done to function well. So is there any plan to provide any future provide support to Radio Maubisse?
Well, I don't have a specific response for that. And I spoke earlier, the radio is very important, and it's very important wherever you are in the world. We are the voice, you are the voice of the community, and it's about getting information out to the community. If that's either for a natural disaster of some sort, if that is to talk about sports, is that to talk about the news, this is the platform that we use. And this is the platform that's been around since I was a little kid, when I was born many years ago. So it's very important. So I see the interest in that, and that's something we will take a look into.
Então, agora vai tabo te pergunto em hau e a resposta específica vai dar, mas agora tu te direito tabo tira katak. Tabo tira essa rádio nessa plataforma ida. Tabo tira nessa liang ida comunidade liang. Ne be que bela to mensagem wen. Por exemplo, quando vai desporto, quando vai área barbarak. Mas bem importante, mas né, cada rádio nem desempenha papel bem que importante tep. How se lembra filho fale quando how se kick, how rola rádio, os rádio ia impactar me vai how memórias. Então eu considero cada rádio bela a mensagem, bela to liam ba povo. Então ida nem te botar papel bem que importante bem que te botar tem que estar neas.
Just think about it. The radio has been around before there was TV, and it's still around to this day. That's how important this is.
Tita botir bele hanuende kata rádio. Rádio existe antes televisão não existe rádio ia tena. Então tem que hanuende quando bele kata rádio desempenha papel muito importante teves.
Também ita hakat fali pergunta da hatnian a rádio comunidade nisan centro ba comunidade rural. Embaixador ia plano boi não.
So as you also know that community radio is a center for the community voice for the community. So is there any plan for the U.S. Embassy to support community radio?
We have to take a look into this right now. Like I said earlier, I've been in the country for 5 weeks, and my real focus in that 5 weeks was getting to know the people of Timor-Leste and the government of Timor-Leste, and meeting with folks and talking about our partnership and cooperation. So to specifically answer your question, I don't have an answer right now. But I will be here for 2 years, and that gives me plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to research and talk to colleagues and professionals to see what it is we can do if we can do something.
Ana se tabo tira tena kat hau foi mai semana 5. Então agora raune hau e processo atu atene o sansira ne. Tene serviço tira me que precisa tu halo. Primeiro me bot me ka halo mak hau karak atu conhece o núcleo povo Timor-Leste, conhece halo encontro o governo Timor-Leste. Tu não colhe quando tem cooperação, tem parceria. Então ba oin quando hau se yene durante tina rua. Hau se buka tu atene lutang, quando hau atene lutang ona maka depois te buka o sapar bele identifica no for apoio ba necessidade de me que ia. Mas bem, agora não nem hau bele falei a resposta específica vai tabot pergunta né, mas bem ida nedet mas hau bele dia vai tabot.
Can I add just one point? This is Fausto
Absolutely,
Guzman,
Fausto.
the acting deputy chief of mission with our charge d'affaires, Mark Weinstock. Community radio is, one of the areas that we have supported in the past. But if you look at today, we are continuing to support the health sector here in Maubisse. Yes. And a great example, Mr. CDA, is the visit you did at the community health center earlier, where through USAID, we are placing, washing facilities so that all the patients in the Maubisse area have access to clean water to prevent health issues.
Nós hanesang junto chefe missão encarregado de negócio nial, hasa Fausto Guzman, ao karateto vai tabo tira kata rádio comunitária importante temos. Eu passaram a fone apoio para a rádio comunitária. Mas bem, temos o apoio para o setor saúde niang. Foi a federal kami visita antes a maine, amba visita centro saúde Maubisse niang. Centro saúde Maubisse retang apoio lius USAID, onde fornece bemos ba centro saúde não é bele fornece qualidade e prestação de saúde dia ba povo se não bem que utiliza centro saúde né. Então idenema importância Rússia Estados Unidos nem apoio ba o setor saúde fornecimento bemos bemos meio que dia ba povo população bem que utiliza centro saúde Maubisse.
And I think nobody can come to Maubisse without talking about strawberries.
Yes, strawberries. Let's talk about Avance Agricultura. We were just at his strawberry farm today. What an amazing job he and his family are doing out there. So I hope you're listening, Avanza.
Tu informai te kulia kona ba morango la e maidan bele ignora neg kona ba morango ia Maubisse. Ohin amba visita fating dan beke kura morango. A senhora de nova nia uni família dedicado tebes ba tos morango nia. Então morango ne importante.
Yeah, and thank you, Fausto, for bringing that up as well as the Maubisse Health Center. There's a lot of work that is being done between the Timor-Leste government, the municipalities, as well as the U.S. Embassy, and we are collaborating together and working together to achieve successes in all different areas. It's not just only in the health or agriculture, it's also in the security sector. We are doing a lot of wonderful things, and I hope to continue doing those things over the next 2 years.
Obrigado, Fausto, está muito bom mencionando quando apoio para Timor-Leste no setor saúde. Mas bem, os setor saúde, amemos for apoio para o setor agricultura, setor saúde, não é importante como setor segurança. E temos parte da outro, você apoio, parceria, com o governo Timor-Leste, no povo Timor-Leste.
Yeah, and one more thing to add, and it's about ASEAN. During her recent visit to the ASEAN summit in Jakarta, the U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris publicly reaffirmed U.S. support for Timor-Leste's accession to full ASEAN membership.
Mas buat data importante, maka ASEAN, questão quando ba assunto quando ba ASEAN, foi da vice-presidente Estados Unidos nia Kamala Harris e nia participação e a cimeira ASEAN nia tete katak nia apoio governo Estados Unidos apoio Timor-Leste nia adesão ba nuda atu sai membro ASEAN nia.
Tu encarregado uluk iha voluntário Corpo da Paz, apoio estação rádio comunidade. Cada que a oportunidade também, né?
So in the past, there were Peace Corps volunteers who came here to provide support to community radio. So is there any possibility in the future for this kind of support to radio community here?
I believe there is some possibility for that. Look, the Peace Corps is a wonderful and amazing group of talented men, women, who volunteer their service to provide services to communities. Currently, right now, we have approximately 10 to 15 Peace Corps volunteers in the country, and we are looking to increase those numbers to approximately 20 within the next month. Peace Corps volunteers is extremely important to Fausto and I at the embassy, and it's definitely something that we will pursue. It was something we will look into, and hopefully we can bring Peace Corps volunteers to Maubisse.
Claro, é possibilário, né? Possibilário de horilor voluntário Corpo da Paz mais Maubisse. Anasi ta boti rateni kata agora não né ia voluntário corpo da paz é muito na nulo. Agora ba onde fulano hiru tu mai hakara saiba na em rua nulo. Anessa how fast sem parlian kata Peace Corps desempenha papel muito importante teve já Timor-Leste. Então how atu dia net bita bot kata de facto ia possibilidade atu bela haruka voluntário corpo da paz mai ia Maubisse ne.
Tu ikirane itatene kata agricultura ne importante teve ia área rural. Mas governo América contribui para região né a desenvolver agricultura no segurança ayam.
So as you know that the agriculture sector is very important to the rural area. So in your view, how can United States government support to provide support for agriculture and food security?
You know, that's a good question. And, you know, Fausto is right here next to me. Fausto has now been in Timor-Leste for over a year now. And so I think you will be you'll be better able to answer that question. Please.
Yes. So thank you very much. That's a very good question. One of the areas we always support agricultural development across Timor-Leste. Either by providing cash crops or encouraging cash crops or using new technology. But one of Timor-Leste's biggest challenges we heard when we talked to President Jose Ramos Horta, Prime Minister Xanana Gusmao, is the issue of nutrition, particularly for young children. And the United States, through our Department of Agriculture for several years now, has a program called the Hatutan Project, which has provided about $25 million over the last few years, and an additional $25 million to bring nutritious meals to thousands of children all across Timor-Leste, so that while they are young, they receive the nutritional support, so that they in turn are able to learn the skills, get an education that they can come back and help in the agricultural sector as they grow older.
Sim, neste ponto já tem que a agricultura nesse setor é importante teves. Também que a mim sempre lembra que apoio a agricultura né, bele folio a fona e o liu se osam horia apoio para produto onde aumenta osam. Mas bem ainda nedet o ka ori hadia com uma alarma bem los nedet. Asa ia me conversa com o presidente Ramos Horta, a mim escolher com importância husi nutrição ba labarik sira atune bele ajuda labarik sira desenvolve o dia clitan onde e crescimento nem que dia clitan. Então a mim fornece apoio e âmbito né li o programa na Hatutan. A fornece na osam muito milhão ranu resting lima ba inisiativa né mas se tem adicional osang milhão ranu resting lima pode apoia programa né honi objetivo será o objetivo maka atu hadia kelabar ke nutrição atu ne ajuda sira bele cresce o dia atu na bombarua sira bot mai o saúde dia o crescimento dia sira bele contribui fila fale ba setor agricultura ligo si eman que saúde isin dia no mos bel sai eman que bahira bot mai o saúde dia ka tu be contribui ba desenvolvimento agricultura na raça.
And just to emphasize, that's about 440 schools across Timor-Leste that receives this support.
Nós atu ênfase de tan kata ia escola muito atus hat nulo maka simuna apoio idane.
Ok, agora liga fali ba problema bem no saneamento e Timor-Leste liu e área rural. Bele faheto ka informação no isa governo ewa hatambaitan.
So in relation to the problem of water and sanitation in Timor-Leste, can you share with us what is the what kind of policy that the U.S. government can address here in Timor-Leste, or what can U.S. government address here in Timor-Leste in relation to these two issues?
I understand. So currently we have what's called the Millennium Challenge Corporation working out of the U.S. Embassy. The Millennium Challenge Corporation has signed a large compact with the Timorese to work on water and sanitation infrastructure in Dili and in 4 nearby areas, as well as improve education outcomes. This investment by the United States and the Millennium Challenge Corporation will go a long way to bring in clean water and sanitation, and somewhat to extent drainage to a large population within Delhi. Obviously, we would like to do that across the country, but we are focused on Delhi right now. Part of that is also bringing in expertise to create and build a secondary school education where we have the opportunity to train teachers for secondary and primary education. So the Millennium Challenge Corporation is doing a lot to work into this space, and they're working very closely with the government of Timor-Leste.
So, claro, o programa da Millennium Challenge Corporation. Millennium Challenge Corporation é iniciativa do governo dos Estados Unidos da América. Nós, e âmbito Millennium Challenge Corporation, mas se for apoio, orçamento, desenvolve, fornecimento, bemos, nós hadia drenagem, nebe que se halau e dili. Claro que a minha cara que tu implementamos e a território todo selo Timor-Leste niang, mas bem agora não nem to foca o badili e a parte fornecimento bemos niang nomos drenagem. E âmbito Millennium Challenge Corporation é rasik, a cara que tu harimos centro de excelência e da professor sira, menor em nine sira. E nem que se for formação, menor na isira, a tu não seria belia capacidade de que competência no dia que lutam, hodi e desenvolve papel e ensino a educação.
In this project, it's not just only the United States is working, it's also the government of Timor-Leste. And so it's not a U.S. managed, well, it is a U.S. managed project, so to speak, but it's Timor-Leste and the United States working together on this millions and millions of dollar project, and it's going to be a success, and it's going to bring a lot of services to people in need.
E o projeto do âmbito Millennium Challenge Corporation lá usa Estados Unidos da América, mas vemos governo Timor-Leste e na barra envolve mal. Então, e serviço mútuo entre governo dos Estados Unidos da América o governo Timor-Leste e projeto nerasi que envolve milhões de dólares. Então, a minha kata ida nesse lor impacto que dia. O projeto nerasi lor impacto dia para Timor-Leste.
E Kusliu, obrigado pela visita. Bela to hela mensagem ruma ba comunidade Rona nai ne bema agora dau Rona hela itania discussão dele li husi canal frequência rádio.
Thank you, and lastly, can you thank you for your visit, and can you give a message to our listeners here in of Maubisse radio community?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And Fausto and I are very happy to be here and have the opportunity to speak to you and to your community.
Uluk nanai obrigado oportunidade by how nós haunia vice Fausto ore mai bela hatuamni lia mai tabot ba comunidade
And secondly, Fausto and I and our team, we've made a lot of stops today, and we've met a lot of wonderful people today, so I can't go off the air without thanking them for allowing Fausto and I into their areas earlier this morning. Please.
Nós how Fausto ohin aimos a oportunidade basorona ema lubukida não how cara aproveita a oportunidade huri for agradecimento a rua Fausto for agradecimento basira boa oportunidade bele halo sur muito cosira.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to meet with the municipal administrator. We went over and we looked at some vanilla and coffee farms. We went to a vocational English language school and had the opportunity to talk to students.
A minha oportunidade para visita Dili Vanili toast Dili Vanili ba mere café hare toast balo na ba nós temos a oportunidade para halos encontro cortesia o presidente da Câmara Município Leonian no am senti kata kirani dia.
And we also went to a community center, the Maubisse Health Center, and obviously met with Avanza Agricultura at the agriculture project regarding strawberries. And here we are today, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful meeting folks. It's been wonderful exchanging ideas and sharing mutual thoughts that are near and dear to all of us here. And that is how do we better our communities and our people.
Nós a oportunidade para visita centro saúde comunidade minha. Nós a visita a fatim baluntar. Nós Abang karatete kata ho visita serne maka it bel kulia ba malu bel fight ni hanoing nomos ira nem importante kata ne essa oportunidade tu it bel atene malu it bel fai hanoing ba malu husi visita serne.
And I was so inspired at one location that I've committed and made a promise to go back, and Fausto and I will go back and we will teach English to some students at a school that we went to.
Hamos ia na compromisso da, oi halo na compromisso da, kata how ho Fausto, kata how se fila faliba, ho de hanor lia inglês ia escola ida make oi amba visita.
But before I leave, let me give Fausto last words, please.
Amora husikal tira au karfokutan ba Fausto tato mensagem.
Thank you as well. It's an honor to be here to speak directly, to the people of Maubisse and surrounding area. And, maybe on a personal note, if my spouse is listening, perhaps the next song, be dedicated to her, as you as well, Charge. So thank you very much.
Obrigado. Teve essa oportunidade pelo micro. Ulio itapo tira e rádio comunidade. Se cara que minha esposa Rona ela kata tudo katnya dan mereka dedicado teve satu kuliah ba nini serviço.
And I also heard Fausto's favorite movie is the Titanic.
Habo Rona kata Fausto ne film favorito maka Titanic.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Okay, dia convinti sa ida di Maubisse Moloko ne ma kita foi Rona liuba mensagem furaxira ne be maka hatona husi studio radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko hawi minebelun Moises da Silva ho equipa ne be serviços de atsumika kusida boa sernia futartilo na fatinha canal frequência radio comunidade Maubisse Moloko.